able to deal with whatever situation in front of you decisively. Now, I try to simplify that in that point I just made, in like when you make money primarily, there are two places on earth you can invest. If you're not investing in real assets, you're investing in paper assets. Now, real assets are you setting up a production company, someone like Dangote, you setting up hotel, having hotel chains, having businesses like Microsoft. I mean, those are businesses. Now, those are classes of real asset. Your real estate investment also falls under real asset. That's, the tangible asset, the physical properties and things like that. They're all under real asset, right? Now, the other form of investment is in the form of paper assets, which is your debenture, your debt instruments, stocks. It's a paper asset because it's not real. I wake up, I set up a company, I create shares, imaginary shares, and I invite some experts. We go through what is called the book building process, to arrive at a fair value, probably for the organization, through discounted flow and things like that. Okay, we now say the share is worth, say, 10 naira per unit, and then we create as much as 5, 10, or hundreds of millions of units, and we sell. It's imaginary. It is not real. That's why it's not a real asset. That's why all of that asset is on paper. Are you following?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. So that's why stock is a real asset, because all of this money is created on paper. So now you have to be investing in the two for you to be able to gain financial freedom as quickly as possible, which is what the likes of Dangote, has done. What has Dangote done? Dangote simply creates company, takes it public, collects his own initial capital invested in that company back through selling, probably even private placement, not even public yet, inviting about 50 to 100 solid high net worth individuals to buy into that vision. And then it takes that round of money, and then the company grows for another 2-3 years. It takes the public through what? Through IPO, and then people buys billions of dollars in the pocket, and this company continues to generate money. That is a solid real asset that continues to generate money. Now, the people buying on the other side are buying the shares of the company. That is another form and class of asset created by that real asset, which is now even what I also describe as the paper asset. So under paper asset we have bonds, TB, debenture, like I mentioned, and other forms of debt instrument, mutual funds and things like that. Now, let me go back to the primary. I want to talk about the primary source of income. You see, you can't actually be wealthy in life or be rich, whatever, if you don't have a solid means of income. You can boast of your investment at the level that your secondary income can surpass your primary income. You see, let me put numbers to it to make it more explanatory. Okay, for instance, if the whole of what I can generate per annum is, say, primarily is 100 million naira. That's what I can generate. And but over the years, I've constantly invested, say stock market or another form of, investment. And over the years, that my investment can actually generate a passive income, probably in form of dividend or, in form of interest payment, quarterly and things like that. Generate, say, 150 million or 200 million. Now, I can tell myself to an extent that I've actually achieved some level of financial freedom. That means that I can sleep and wake up without lifting my finger, and then I will still make more money than even my primary source of income. I can decide to leave my primary source of income and focus on the secondary income, and take the residual income of the residual income now is what you get annually as in form of dividend or whatever. The 150 million, because it already surpasses my primary source of income. I can take that as capital and even deploy back and now compound over the years to now create what we call wealth. You see, the process I just described, even though it appears short, it is not short. I just hope you're following. Are we here? Profit man.
Yes, we are with you.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that I'm not losing the audience. So that is the point. You can say that you've achieved some certain level of financial freedom, and if you're not financially savvy, you will not be able to get to this level. If you are not disciplined, there's no how you will be able to get to that level. If you are not patient enough, you won't be able to get to that level, because it's either you're eating up the capital or you're eating into the capital at the early stage, and that will delay the number of years. The more the capital is not well managed, then the more you have to keep possibly hustling to attain your financial goal of financial freedom. I think I've touched hold on guys, I've touched productive asset, talked about intellectual property, which also falls under skill acquisition, whatever you can do to generate primary income. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is now investment, which I already touched. You see, depending on the level of capital you get, you see, some people are lucky to work in an organization that pay them as much as $100,000, $150,000 per annum. I have a couple of friends in the States, even any as much as $600,000-$700,000, depending on your level of skill. You see, people who are fortunate to have such capital should even jump a lot of process and move straight into real investment in real estate, stock, and other form of businesses. Because if you're able to compound such level of capital within 3 to 5 years, you should be able to at least minimum of net of $5 million. But unfortunately, we live in a country where we earn major salaries, 200, 150,000, and then you're thinking in your mind that this money is too small for you to invest. I'm here to tell you today that I think the first check of investment I wrote was, I think, about 50,000, even though it might be much at the time. No, the first investment I made was in First Bank, 33,000. I bought 2,000 units of First Bank shares. Way back. Their public offer, 66,000. But you see, it is not about that 66,000. It is about what I did afterwards that actually mattered. My consistency, my 20,000 or 50,000 naira, my consistency at what I do. While on the side, I also don't play with my education, my investment education, like the other former speakers spoke about personal development. I so much value personal development that I try as much as possible to read every day, even if it's just 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Just read something. It doesn't even have to be about your core course or whatever you do in life. Just refresh your knowledge, your mind. Just read something, So I like that a lot. I try to read, even though I really don't have that much time now because of the different things I do. But I want you to know that if you're consistent, no matter what you earn, I put out a tweet just to make people understand that even though it's difficult, but if you know what you're doing in life and God is on your side, the background you come from in life actually does not matter. I'm telling you, because my own parents were educationists. I mean, what we knew when we were growing up was you have to be a graduate to make it in life. I mean, everybody, you have to go to school. But you see, when you're out of school, what is the next thing? You need to go and get a job. And then you would now need to start to save from that job. But there are some other people that they get out of school, they get into their parents' organization, either as a manager or as a consul or whatever, and they are already like 5, 6, 7, 8 steps ahead of you. Now, sorry to mention what trended a couple of days ago. The Lapo baby, what do you need to do? You need to seek deep knowledge to be able to cover for that gap that guy has jumped. You now need to get extraordinary knowledge. To now need to get that, I keep repeating that thing, extraordinary knowledge. You now need to master something. It's either you master investment, you master your primary source of income. You just have to master something. And when you get it, opportunities are always there. I took every opportunity in the stock market. You see, I just stay. It got to a point in my life when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming of stocks. I'm not surprised at where I am today. Yes, I see stocks in my dream. I see companies in my dream. I analyze in my dream. I swear I'm not lying here. I mean, I might not be doing those things again now. I mean, if I need to make a decision in a company, I just need to look at a few things. But whereas 10 years ago, I will be on that same thing for 3 months trying to make a decision. But what has changed? My constantly updating of my knowledge. You need to get to a stage and level in life. You need to actually be a knowledge repository of a subject, so that whatever you do, you are almost guaranteed at least 80 to 85% that this endeavor is going to be successful. So we bring all of this together at the end of the day, and we need to now deploy this capital to now create that level of wealth, 3, 4, 500, percent scaling. And what do you need again? Knowledge. So you can't actually, even if you have a good capital and you do not have the knowledge, you might actually even lose the capital at the end of the day. So knowledge is key. Continuously educating ourselves is also key. If you are at the level of your primary source of income, please, I would advise you to take that seriously, because you see, no matter what knowledge you have at the end of the day, if you don't even have excessive cash to deploy, for example at the capital market, you will just be groaning and be feeling bad at yourself that, okay, you have so much knowledge, but then you now need fund to execute your knowledge. So which is also why, if you are at that level, you take your primary source of income seriously. When I was growing up, I would work sometimes my ass out. I would have to sleep at the client's place. If probably we were at the data center or were doing something, I made sure I wasn't lazy, because I did not have an option to succeed in life. I had lost my parents, 96 and then 2007. 96, I just left secondary school. My father died in 98. Yes, 2 years after. And then so you would have to tell yourself the truth. And then you would have to single yourself out. You see, different friends have different things they do to get to wherever they're going. But you know where you're going. You need to learn how to get there. What will take you there? Knowledge. Because that gap you want to fill, the space, you're going to fill it with knowledge. And when you are able to get that, the next thing is focus on your primary source of income. So these are what possibly you need to do and how to deploy capital. You see, and you also need to learn how to deploy your capital effectively. And I will briefly talk about the macroeconomy. You see, for instance, in 2018 or either 2017, because I had mastered macroeconomy. I am not an accounting student. I am a science student. But since the day I discovered that, okay, these and these are important subjects. You have to take them seriously. If you don't understand accounting, please go and learn it. So that even when you set up a company and somebody is in front of you discussing numbers, you should be able to spot the errors. So we need that kind of knowledge. Anyway, to round up, I would advise us to, okay, I spoke about the primary side. If you are in secondary, if you are at the level of your life that, okay, you so much now depend on your passive income because you've been able to set up and create some level of investment that can actually return as much as that to you, where you can live comfortably, live your normal life, and then you still have a lot left. I mean, congratulations to you. But then you can't even still rest at that, because when every time you wake up, you see the likes of Dangote or Tesla, these guys are still pushing. They're still, even though, I mean, maybe the level of wealth they've attained, can afford them the level of affluence and whatever they do now, but they've actually worked for it. So I don't know the level you're aiming, I don't know your set goals, but I need to know that if what you have to do and you've projected is 10 years, you need to be so frugal for that 10 years. Because the moment you miss, the year you need to attain your goal will also miss. And then, please, I would also encourage us to have a bit of economic knowledge. You see, in the world we're living today, information is what you need to thrive. Information is what you need to run with, especially good information. And how are you able to see bad information from good information? Your discerning economic knowledge. Thank God I remember what I wanted to say. A single policy can change your life forever. But if you do not understand a simple policy, you will miss that opportunity. So please, get yourself abreast with economic knowledge, read newspaper, go to the economic section. If you don't understand that can actually interpret and explain to you, global news, have a global view, global economic view. It affects us as investors, as what we do. Even though you think your small 20,000 naira is not affected by what is being said by the Federal Reserve in the US, it indirectly affects it. Your local government, your state government, your federal government pay attention to the policies, especially the fiscal side of things. You can break that down, by saying monetary policy and the fiscal policy. So take all this information, because that is what I thrive on. Bring it together, interpret it. Look for a company that the particular policy favors at the time. Just go and wait there for them. You see, I've done that several times, and the result is tremendous. 2018, 2017, I can count, post-COVID, so many things. So if we do not get ourselves to that level where we're comfortable reading things that are boring, like economics, like accounting, we will not be able to get to where we're going in time. I will round up by saying that we've actually come to an age where it is information age. Please scramble on just get on any valuable information that can change your life. Information changes. Forget what they are saying on Twitter about Nepo and Lapo or whatever. I would tell you today personally that I'm actually an example of so many things. I have so even write about to actually inspire people. You see, the only reason I met my mentor, I would say, was because of knowledge. And the first day we spoke, he was interested in seeing me again. In fact, he took me to it. One day he called me and said, I will take you to somebody. I will take you to my former boss, Williams Daibo, former partner, Akintola Williams. You see, there is something possibly he saw, what character, intelligence, deep insight, knowledge, especially in your field. The first time I heard about 1.6 billion in my life that I was going to feature on the project, it was the one. So sometimes the way you position yourself, especially when you build good character, you build knowledge, you build so many beautiful things, and then you put this all together to form the personality you want to create. There's, in my world, Nepo and Lapo does not exist. Yes, it doesn't exist, because what my parents have not been able to do to my own kids, I've been able to do it. My children are American citizens. I mean, whatever the rich man is doing, but I paid the price. So today, when they say Napo or Lapo or whatever, I don't even see myself, because I've met several billionaires in my life. And one thing remains that, okay, they want to see me again. So, and I come from, because my parents were not rich, of course, they were educationists, so, I mean, I come from the other set of people. And I've been so taught humility in life, that no matter what I own, it will not change my perception to life, to kindness, to some basic things, to charity programs, to things. Because such moments that you want to get yourself, that euphoria of victory that probably you attain, maybe you set a milestone of $500 million for yourself, and you attain it, and then it changes your life. Your life will still not change at that point. I remember in 2018, I felt like I had arrived. And this same Emefiele policy, I made over 100 million in the stock market. And I felt like, okay, now I should be able to have a befitting SUV for myself. Because the other SUV I was driving, I've been driving it for 5 years. Even though I could afford it 10 times. And my investment kept increasing, but I never changed my lifestyle. I still eat the same food, I still drive the same car, nothing changes. Nothing changed until 2018, where I just felt like, let me do this. I did it. I drove the car to my mentor. My mentor is, retired as a director of finance in, one of the biggest agencies, corporations in Nigeria. And then I drove to his house. That's I wanted to see this. And this is what I'm closing with. And he came out. Which is why you also even need to have a mentor in your life, irrespective of your age. He came out, he saw it, he checked, he was like, this is very nice. And the next thing that came out of his mouth was, how much is this? I told him. He said, I can't imagine myself putting that amount of money on a car. I felt bad. I felt like what I had done was not right. So I was trying to justify it, to defend it, that, oh no, that look at where, I've been driving one for 5 years, and we got into his living room, we got talking. That thing never left my head in 20 minutes. And then he saw my face and said to me, are you thinking about what I told you the other time? I said, no. He said, no, don't worry. That he made that statement because he felt like he would possibly comfortably be able to spend that kind of money investing. Because when he wants to invest, he's so used to it, he says, I want to spend money. They'll tell me, Dr. Henry, please, let me check these companies. I want to spend 50 million naira this money. That's what he spends his own money on. So, that statement he made in his living room never left my head. Why? Because I felt like something hit me. I'd done something wrong. Even though I felt like what I did, I've not, done something extraordinary. So sometimes when you think you've attained that level, you need to reevaluate your life again, and then tell yourself that, okay, you need to keep your head low, and then keep compounding, and then keep building until you are able to build an empire. To me, that's the next stage of my life now. Build empire, help people, pay people's tuition fees, encourage young people here, encourage people to take professional courses, exams, update your skills and things like that. That's the part of humanity that I cherish most. And then I want to say a big thank you to you tonight, Prophet Man. I like you. I like what you're doing. The only reason I'm here is to encourage you, and then encourage other people that you can actually attain your financial goals through consistency, discipline, perseverance, and finally creating wealth to improve the life of your family and people around you. Thank you so much, guys, for
Wow,
having me.
wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. Like I don't even know where to start. I'm just looking at my life that hey, thank you so much. I wish there is a way everybody can just clap, or maybe if you can react to this Twitter space, just react something you love so much. Thank you so much. This is like maybe I need 1 hour to even think. We can even end this space right now with what we have just heard right now, because I was so there was so much. Thank you so much. It is my honor. I feel so honored to have you on this space. And then I really appreciate you. I love you personally. We I no no to be sincere, for your openness, and then the willingness to help with the younger generation. We just want to say thank you so much, because we know time is one of the most valuable assets, and this is the best gift you can give to us, your time. If you give us money, we will finish it. The best thing you can give to us, which is your time, we really appreciate it so much. I've written a lot of things down. I don't even know where to start right now, and this is 9:18 already, and we planned that we will end this meeting by 9:30, but there is a lot Mr. Tokwe had said. There is a lot. And then if you're in this space tonight, if you have not learned one or two things, I don't know, maybe you are just wasting your time. Maybe it's the high time to just leave. Because come on, you should not remain the same after this space. Like, you should not remain the same. He said a lot of things. I will just speak because I cannot say everything here. I've written them down for my own personal consumptions. But I'll just pick one or two things to just to just bring it to our memory again. The first thing that I said is about freedom. That the essence of financial pursuit is all about freedom. And if you don't know the meaning of freedom is not what you do when you go for a particular maybe profession and they give you freedom. That is not freedom. One of my favorite professors will say that, can a man choose when he's not free? Because you see, Nigeria gained independence, but we are not free. We are not free, though they gave us independence. So he made mention of freedom, and I will just link it to financial freedom. And financial freedom is the let me try to define it. Financial freedom is the ability to afford whatever you want or need, whenever you need it, or in the quantity you want it, while retaining your time, your peace of mind, and energy. That is financial freedom. Like anything you want, whatever, whenever, however, in the quantity and quality, and you still retain your time, energy, and the peace of mind. That is the financial freedom. So after freedom, he made mention of another thing. We are still open to give the mic to. We are going to open the floor. He made mention of another thing, because I just want people to get this before we move on. He said something about goal, which I will call clarity. You see, if you don't have clarity in life, there is no way you are going. Because he made mention that he proposed in his mind that this is what I want to become. This is who I want to be. So you must have that. You must have clarity. You must be clear. Like, this is what I want to be. This is who I want to become. This is where I want to get to in life. Because it is your clarity that you'll be directing your path. It is your clarity that will define the kind of opportunity you will take. It is your clarity that will define the kind of investment to do, or the kind of education to go for. Clarity is very important. Clarity is the goal, is the plan. What do you want to be? If you don't have it, my favorite book, we say that put your plan upon the table. I don't know how to put it right now. Like, write the vision down on the table, so that you can see. Because if you cannot see, if you cannot visualize where you are going, you can never get there. My role model, Bishop Oyedepo, will say that you don't arrive into a future you are not prepared for. You don't arrive into that future you are not prepared for. So you must have that clarity. If anybody asks you that, who do you want to become? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? You must be able to present it. Because without clarity, you will just be going. You will just be going without direction. Meanwhile, speed, it is not an advantage without a direction. Even if you have speed, you are running, But if you don't have a direction, you are just going. You are at a great disadvantage if there is no direction. Are we together? So another thing he made mention, I have a lot of things here. He made mention about let me just go to the solid means of income. You see, you cannot create wealth without solid means of income. And he made mention about two types of solid means of income. Means of income, the primary and the secondary. And the primary is what you need to build first. And he made mention of mastery, that is mastery, because he mastered what he's doing, he mastered what he does. We can see nurse investor. He is a nurse. He master nursing. Before you become an investor, you master nursing. You must gain mastery, and mastery is what people are going to pay for. You should gain mastery to a level that if you do a work or you work with a particular organization, they should be able to call you back. I made that decision in my life that I will never be sacked in this life. I will resign. And that no organization will sack me. I will intentionally resign from the work, and they will be crying. Anytime I'm going, they will be crying that, Profitable Man, please do not go. But I will leave. So I made that decision that nobody will ever sack me, because anything I find to do, I will put all my diligence. I will put everything. You see, let me just round up before we give other people's mic. He said something about information, that information is very, very important in this age. Because if you are not informed, you will be deformed. If you are not informed, one of the skit makers says that info, like you need information to fly. And I tweeted something this morning that the difference between you and somebody that is succeeding in their work is the level of information they have. And the problem is that, you see, this generation is only God that can deliver us. There is a lot of distractions and attractions that is stopping people to reach their potentials. Social media. I used to tell people that social media is like two-edged sword. You can use it for defense and you can use it for offense. It can kill you and it can build you. That is social media. It's just like a gun. You can use a gun to defend and you can use a gun to offense. So we have been distracted. You see a very young man watching Korean movie, 55 episodes, nothing, fictions. But you see somebody, everybody is admiring Tokwe today, Mr. Tokwe today, because he knows his onions. But little did we know, that portfolio you are seeing, there is a story behind that portfolio. There is a story behind the person that is doing the doings. How many news are you reading? How many books? You cannot go far in life if you don't have right information, the right knowledge. He said something like, good capital without knowledge is a disaster. It is a disaster. A good capital without knowledge, it is a disaster, because it is very easy to make money. Let me just say, even a beggar can make money. There are many ways you can use to make money, either through begging or through working. You can make money, but a fool can never multiply money, because it takes wisdom. And this wisdom is not something that you get freely. You made mention about personal self-development. It is not something you get freely. In the school of nursing, they don't teach about investment. Even when you study, I study history. I study political science, my first degree. Second degree, I study history. They don't, they don't have any, what is their business to teach you about finance? Even people that study economics, they are still struggling with investment. I have many icons, people that they will come to my DM Profitable Man. What I say, you guys, you study economics now. I suppose you're supposed to know. I think you're supposed to know. Meanwhile, they do not know anything, because there is no way you can skip personal development by reading books, by consuming content that will benefit your life. Oh, I have a lot of things to say, but let me just round up with this. It says something that there is a price to pay. Everybody you are admiring today, there is a price they paid. And then the problem is that our generation, we are running away from price. We don't want to pay the price. We just want to arrive. We want to arrive at the top. We don't want to start. We want to start climbing the tree from the top, not from the down. We don't want to start. And then you see, all those things that are distracting you right now, they will leave you alone in the future. You will be alone and you will cry if you don't invest your time. It used to pain me, sir, Mr. Tokwe. It used to pain because I look at my peers. I used to cry inside of me that why can't you just be serious with your life? Why can't you just leave all these things that are just for a moment? Why can't you build your life that your future will be saying thank you? You may be a Nepo or Lapo, or what do they call it? You see, I also see that there's no Lapo in my own word too. I subscribe to your ideas, Mr. Tope. There is no Lapo. You see, I will make it. There is no option. There is no negotiation. It's not negotiable. I don't care about Lapo or being Nepo. That is it. So we have to be diligent, serious, and then be consistent, mentioned consistent. I read a lot about investment. Somebody that studied computer now into investment. You know, it's all about information. It's not even about what you're studying in school right now. So there is a price to pay. Please, let's pay the price. What you are doing right now for being on this space, you are paying a price. I used to tell my people that there are 5 different types of currency. Your time is a currency. Your attention is a currency. Your energy is a currency. What else? Your attention. That is what the social media world is looking for now. Everybody is looking for your attention. You see, I mute a lot of people. I unfollowed a lot of people because I don't want junks. If I open my time, what is I see Feedline or Timeline on Twitter, everything I'll be seeing is all about education, something that can change my life for better. That are the people I follow. I don't follow too much of people. Even if you follow me, you are posting rubbish, I will mute you or block you. I don't care. If I'm seeing, you see, I'm seeing reports, I'm seeing information that on my own, information that somebody like people that don't have sense cannot post. Because people you follow will determine, they will influence your life. They will determine the kind of mindset you will have, the kind of consciousness you will have. You can't be follow people that are on this space right now because and remain the same. Because these people, they are using a currency of time. They are using their time to learn something that will change their life forever. And then let me just, I don't know the last point I would say. Let me just round up. Is it because of time? I really want people to rest. This is weekend. Arrival mentality. You see, this thing affected me a lot. You know, if you came for a relatively poor background like me, because, you know, my man, David was saying something that we were very, very poor. There is nobody in my family I don't want to become any, like there is no picture in my family. There is no great picture in my generation that say, okay, I want to be like this person. Because the definition of greatness to me is different. So I picture it that, if I want to be different in life, there are some kind of principle and mindset I must have to govern in life. So this arrival mentality used to affect with the younger generation. How much is your net worth? How much do you have? We don't have character. We are stubborn. You see, social media just give everybody access to talk anyhow. You will be talking to somebody that has arrived in your future yesterday. That your future you are going, those people have arrived yesterday. They arrived into your future yesterday. We talk anyhow, we don't honor, we don't respect, we don't learn from people. So those are the things you should do. Arrival mentality will kill you before your time. You will die like a chicken before your time if you have this arrival mentality. Arrival mentality is something that will hinder you not to go far. He also said something. I'm going to open the mic. You can request. Nurse Investor, please. We want you, Nurse Investor, and any other people that want to contribute. We just want you to just request for the mic. You cannot go, Nurse Investor. You are going to say something. So, just request for the mic. Let me just round up. Let me just close with this. It says something about mentors. You see, you cannot go far in life if you don't have a mentor. Because mentor, they are like a tormentor that will torment you to be the best version of yourself. So you must have a mentor in your life, no matter what. In any area you want to be great, you must have a mentor. You must have a mentor, because if you don't have people that are tormenting you, if you have people that are, they are rubbing your head, you are going to fade out of history very soon. If you don't have people that are challenging you, people that are making you to be the best version of yourself, people that are trying that, people that help you to have any information that on your own you may not even get access to. Mentor, go and look for mentor. If you are in finance, look for mentor in finance. If you are in fashion, look for mentor in fashion. They will help you there. You see, mentor, they will carry you on their shoulder. They will help you to skip many mistakes. You don't have luxury of time on earth. How many times do you want to use on earth? You don't have luxury of time to be discovering things on your own. We don't need your experience. You don't need your experience to learn. You can learn from other people's experience. So thank you once again, Mr. Tope. We really, 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 really appreciate your time. We really, really appreciate your time, and we do not take it for granted We do not take it for granted. So let me just give mics. Let's hear from other people. The nurse investor is here. Please unmute yourself and let's hear from you, sir. Let's hear the token of wisdom you have for us.
Thanks for having me. It's so good to be here. I think I joined the space late, but by the time I joined, I was listening to one of our boss here, Tokwe Adu. So it's so lovely to hear his voice, and I like when people hear relatable information. So, I mean, based on everything he has mentioned, and based on the topic of this space, so I'm just going to talk on that. So many people that are here are people that have been investing or people that are thinking of starting to invest. So the first thing you need to work on, if you really want to invest in the stock market or invest in anything, the first job is to work on your mindset. If you work on your mindset, and you have two things, you have what is called an abundance mindset. So if you have an abundance mindset, that will tell you that nothing is impossible in this life and you can really achieve anything you set your mind to achieve. For instance, I'll give you something. I think I've touched on this topic today. I believe Topi Adu has touched on it. So many people have touched on it as well. And it goes like this. You see some people achieve something in their life, maybe in terms of finance, in terms of earning. Quote unquote, they are successful people. And the first thing that comes to your mind is they get that kind of success from an illicit means. So if you are the person with that kind of mindset, you can't really be successful. Goes back to my first encounter with Tokyo Adu on this space. I posted something about my investment on the Nigerian stock market. I think I shared my portfolio. I believe the portfolio was around 400,000 naira then. So that was when I just started. For some reason, I saw the quote, and that person also shared their portfolio. That portfolio was worth over 100 million. Okay, now here's the thing. Let's say we have person A. Person A thinks, oh, this person share his portfolio of 100 million. He is trying to brag or think it's impossible to actually build that kind of portfolio. Person B thinks this person shared his portfolio. It is worth 100 million and I'm currently at 400,000, and takes an inspiration from that, thinking one day if I keep on doing what I'm doing, I can achieve such goal as well. So don't be person A, be person B and be inspired when other people share their success. If you take inspiration from such, then you'll be pushed to achieve your goal as well. So that's one aspect I want to touch on. The second aspect I want to touch on is when you are doing this thing, when you are investing into anything at all, but let the focus be on stock market here because we are discussing majorly on stock market here. Try to have a long-term mindset when you are doing this thing. I'll give you some instance and how it's going to affect your investment approach. So if you have a long-term mindset, say minimum of 5 years when you are investing in the stock market, if you are a beginner, before you buy any stocks at all, think, can I hold this stock for 5 to 10 years? If you know that your answer is no, you can't hold this stock for 5 to 10 years, then you probably should not be buying that stock. Because I'll tell you one thing that's going to happen. When you invest in stock and you have a long-term mindset, the stock market is it's so unpredictable that what's going to happen tomorrow or next week, nobody knows. We can predict, but you really don't know what's going to happen. So along the way, it's a bumpy road. It's going to go up and down. It's going to go up and down. Stock prices will go up and down. There's a quote, I've forgotten whether it's Warren Buffett that says it or Ben Graham, that the stock market is a weighing scale. No, the stock market is a floating machine, but on the long term is a weighing machine. So what that tells you is that there will be a lot of hypes. There will be so many things around a particular stock. You will see one stock flying without any fundamental now, but on the long run, that stock is going to find its real value. So when the stock now find its real value, where will you be? So try to analyze the stock, learn about that particular stock before you buy them, and hold them for a long time. That's the only way you can achieve so many things. To bring a practical example in, there are some stocks in my portfolio that I've held since 2022, and there are some stocks I've held since like 2024. Those stocks that are doing mostly well in my portfolio are those stocks that I've held for the longest amount of time. So that's a practical example for you. And so many things will happen in this market. I'll tell you, back in 2022, I believe, Tesla stock dropped to like $100 a share because I just started investing in the Nigerian stock markets last year, December. So very new to that market. But I started in the US stock market. That's where my primary portfolio is. So Tesla stock dropped to $100 a share. That's after split. Tesla split at like 900, 3-to-1 split. So it dropped to, after the split it was 300, and then that drop happened. It dropped to $100 a share. Facebook dropped to less than $100 a share. Amazon same, Google same. So at that point, if you're somebody investing for the long term, even though you have invested in Tesla when it was 300, you have invested in Facebook when it was also around that 300 range, and these stocks dropped to this level. And the first thing that will come to somebody that is just starting or somebody that lacks experience will be, I hope these things will not go to zero. The moment you are thinking about that, then you should assess the situation. You should check what is really happening, what causes those stocks to come down. The moment you check what causes those stocks to come down, then you answer yourself whether those things are temporary or permanent. If those things are temporary, then you know if the stock is a quality stock, then that stock is going to recover. So if you think like that, and you know that, oh, I'm holding this stock for long, I know it's going to be more valuable than my average price, then you know when the stock drop that much, then you need to buy more. By and large, let's go to what now happened to those stocks. Facebook currently is selling for how much? Over $700 a share. Tesla is selling for how much? Over $300 a share. Amazon selling for how much? Over $200 a share. You see what having a long-term mindset has done. Some people have sold their investment at that time. Some people are holding on to those investments up until now, and they've made over 100%, even 300% in some stocks. So try to have a long-term mindset when you are investing in the stock market. And I always say this: yes, the stock market is risky. You can lose your money if you don't do it right, but it is a risk that is worth taking. If you seek the knowledge, you approach it with knowledge. It is a risk that is worth taking, and you can't regret doing it. For me, myself, it has transformed my life investing in the stock market. Not in one way, not in two ways, not just financially. It has transformed my financial life. Let's talk on that. So I have where my net worth is now. If I didn't find stock market, it wouldn't have been there at all. So network has appreciated a lot through investing in stock market. Now come to another thing. Through investing in stock markets, if you approach it with knowledge, it has a thing that it does in your mind, because you learn various topics. You learn about international relations, you learn about macroeconomics, you learn about everything happening in other geographical locations. The US, Nigeria, Russia, war, what is causing war, what is causing all of these things. So if you approach these things and you are really passionate about it, it will expand your mind so much that when you are having conversation, people will know that this person actually knows what he's doing. And it's not because of anything, it's because you are investing in the stock market. It just has a way of improving your mind. Another thing is, I think somebody mentioned, I didn't remember whether it's the first person that was speaking or is he Tokyo that mentioned it. Another thing is, personally myself, in the last 4 years, I don't think a day will pass and I will not watch or listen to anything that is related to personal finance or the stock market. I don't think so. So now imagine the compounding effect of listening, learning about these things over the years. So it compounds and it makes the journey so much easier for you. When you listen to other people's story, you read about it, it makes the journey so much easier for you. So I think those are the little things I'm just going to end here, because and I hope people pick one or two things. And like Profitable Man has said earlier, follow people who know road. If you are on Twitter, you are already privileged, and if you follow people, see, I think people just need to use social media very well, and the algorithm is so good that it's only what you search for that you get. If you keep searching for a topic, that topic is going to be coming your way. You can't be searching for something that is irrelevant and you think you get something that is relevant. If I became active on Twitter in 2020, I traveled out of Nigeria in 2021. So if I had became active on Twitter before 2020, I've made a lot of decisions in my life. After graduating from nursing school, I've went to med school, which I later dropped out. That's a story for another day. But the point I'm trying to make was that, assuming I'd been active on Twitter before that time that I was active on Twitter, I say God has his own plan as well. But if I leave the God aspect and just look at it from human aspect, I think if I'd become more active on Twitter before the time I became active, I would have traveled out earlier than when I traveled out, because of some information that are available here that I don't have access to when I wasn't here. So if you are already on Twitter, you have a privilege already against other people that don't have privilege. Follow the people that talk about the topic you are interested in. If it's to build wealth, so many people talk about it. If it's the stock market, so many people talk about it. You can't read what these people say every day and you are not going to change your approach, or your mindset is not going to change. So try to follow those people, learn from them. So when you learn from them, now don't just learn, take action on what they say, because it goes beyond you just reading, learning, reading tweets, liking, doing all of those things. If you don't take action, you go nowhere. So you need to take action on what you learn. And if you do, time is of essence in this market. You see a stock at the particular price at one point, you get in, you see the stock is not there again and things like that. Anyway, time is of essence. That's what I want to say in whatever you want to do. So make sure you take action when you learn something. And I hope we all achieve the goal that we set. And like me, try to set goal, and if you don't mind, share those goals in public. In my pin page, you see that I put there that I'm going to build a stock investment that is worth 50 million naira in 5 years. So here's the thing. Nigerian stock market is not my primary portfolio, and setting that 50 million naira was because the money I was investing in the Nigerian stock market are kind of extra money that is not like a main. I didn't treat it as a main investment at the earlier stage. So my plan was anything that is left in the account, I'll just be putting it there. But on daily basis, I kept learning about how that market works. And that was why I said, okay, in order to be deliberate about this market as well and to achieve something from it, let me set this goal. And I say, okay, 50 million in 5 years. How achievable is that? I'll say, me putting it out and sharing my portfolio is one thing. I have people like Tope Adu here. There are so many other of them like that they are mentor to me. It will be personal one day, but at the moment they are mentor to me. Are so optimistic about that goal than even myself. So, and when you have people like that are optimistic about your goal, they are motivating you every day and they are positive about you achieving that goal. Trust me, you are going to achieve that goal. So if you have a goal as well, put it out there. That will keep motivating you to work on that goal, and you are going to get there. So I think that's what I'm going to say. Yeah, thanks.
Wow, thank you so much, Nurse Investor. Thank you so much. I don't even know where to start right now. If you have been blessed, can you just type something? I just want you to type something in the comment section if you have been blessed. just type something in the comment section so that we know that you are active. Yes, you can also react. Thank you so much, Nurse Investor. I've written a lot of things down. I just love writing. I've written a lot of things down. Thank you so much, and I hope that we can learn from all this experience. I tell you, if you pay for some premium mentorship class, these are the things you may not even hear up to what they are sharing with you. You might not even up to what they are sharing with you, because these are the real deal. These are the real deal. It's one of the things he said. And then before we continue, I really want you to, let me start from the last. He said something that follow will know road. Because let me tell you, admit that you don't know the road. Because if you know the road, your life will not be like this. I also don't know the road. I don't know the road. So I need to follow people who know the road. Because my favorite book said something. He said that he that is a friend to the foolish shall be destroyed, but the friend of the wise shall kiniko. I don't know how to put it. I forgot it. Like, a friend to the foolish person is going to be destroyed, but the friend of the wise people is also a wise man. Let me just paraphrase like that. So I want you to follow all our speakers. Follow them, because you see, if you want to, when it comes to financial freedom, and if you want to be free, actually, you need to follow these people. Just, you see, if you cannot give, they don't need your money. The only thing you can give to them, which is also meaningless to them, is you just give them a follow and then write a comment to just appreciate them. Because what they are giving to us, they are giving their time, which is precious. I don't joke with time. These people, they have their own work, they have their business, they're supposed to be resting right now, but they are giving us their precious time, which we cannot use money to buy. Are we together? So he made mention about something about abundant mindset. If you see, the first day I see Tope Ado post, I was like, hey, I've never seen it before. Yes, that is why you need exposure. I've never seen it before. That so some people 2022 can have one of their portfolio over 100 million. I was like, where are these people? We have 2,000 naira in our portfolio. We are even shouting. We are shouting as if we understand the market. We are shouting. We don't know anything. Anything we don't know. And you see, it's better for you to have 2,000 naira in your portfolio and be following people that have over millions inside your portfolio, because it's going to help you. Because your mistake will not be huge. Because there are some mistakes that can kill you. If you invest your money into some certain stock, not the investors say that there are some stock that are just going up. If you invest your life savings there, you will cry. You will cry. You will gnash your teeth if you don't have. So the abundant mindset. There is a book I read here. The title of the book is Prosperity: How to Attract It. It was written by Sweet Madden. So it said something that I'm still talking about the abundance mindset that Nurse Investor mentioned. He said that our conviction is much stronger than our willpower. If every rich people around you, if you are looking bad at them, like you think maybe they are doing fraud or their money is not neat, you are not going anywhere. Your mindset must be positive about money. Let me use money, about resources, about prosperity. Your mindset must be, first of all, pure. You must desire it. And you can't desire what you ate. You can't desire what you detect. So it is very, very important to work from your mind. Before you even working for money, from your mind. From your mind is very, very important, because what we are conscious of, we already possessed. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. If you think you cannot achieve this, let me tell you, you have already made your choice. You cannot achieve it. If you think this thing is possible, I'm going to tell you, before 5 years, Nurse Investor will reach its goal of 50 million in less than 5 years, because the clarity is there already. The picture is clear already. It's clear already. While he was speaking, I wrote something about what he said about clarity, like set your priority, your goal. And I wrote that whatever you cannot visualize, you cannot describe. And whatever you cannot describe, you cannot identify. And whatever you cannot identify, you cannot locate. Yeah, I'm speaking big grammar. And anything you cannot locate, you can never experience it. Because he has a clarity, like if visual picture that I'm going to have 50 million naira worth of Nigeria stock market in the next 5 years. That is what we call visualizations. You can picture it. Now that you can picture it, it can describe it that, okay, it is Nigeria stock market, this is what I will do, and it can identify that this is what I want to do. And after identification, it can locate, it knows where to buy it. And let me tell you, if you experience it, whatever you cannot visualize, you cannot describe. Whatever you cannot describe, you cannot identify. Whatever you cannot identify, you cannot locate. And anything you cannot locate, you will never, ever, ever experience it. Thank you so much for giving us lecture on clarity. Another thing he made mention, we are going to close very soon, is about long-term mindset. Long-term mindset. You see, there is even between riches and wealth too. You can be rich and still, when we are talking about being rich is just that maybe you have abundance of resources and abundance of money. But being wealthy, hey, there is no wealth. You cannot build wealth without the long-term perspective. When people say that they bought Presco at 7 naira, I'll be like, when people say that they bought Fidelity, they bought Wema Bank 2017, 2018, I was like, because many of us, 20% profit like this, you are out of the market already. Because you don't have the mindset. Your mindset is so, because you are looking for quick money. You will just, many people have sold a very great company, and they buy the rubbish one because they cannot wait. These people, they experienced 2008 market crash. If many of us experience that crash, we will not even come back to the market again. So the long-term perspective, the ability to delay gratifications. Delaying gratifications. With this generation, once you have 1 million naira like this, everybody will know. Everybody will know. You don't even buy shares, you don't buy stock, you don't invest. You are investing into the liability, into your lifestyle. Your lifestyle that is not the true picture of your mind. It is not a good thing. Please, let's practice long term. You see, I'm already planning for my children. Mr. Tokpe Adu said that all his children, they are now American citizens. You see, I don't know about you, but don't let me say anything. But I don't know about you. But I already have plans for my children already. I've not given back to one, but you see, they are in my plan every day. Anytime I'm sleeping anyhow or I'm drifting away, that thing will come to me that, come on, you already have plan for your children. So if you have plan, I have the clear picture of where I want to be, where I want to live. We call it clarity picture. Where I want to be, who I want to be, where I want to go when I die, what I want people to remember me for. I have them. I know where I'm going in life. That is why, because if you know where you are going, you will know who to follow. You cannot be following Ayastar and you want to become an investor. You cannot be following Ayastar because you want to be an investor. It is not possible. So if you have the clarity of your future, you will know who to follow. The last one that he mentioned, he said that approaching everything with knowledge, stock market with knowledge. And then let me tell you, see, stock market is very funny that if you don't give your time to it, Tokpe Adu said something that he is already seeing stock in his sleep. I think I need to enter that realm. I need to enter that realm of seeing stock market in my dream, because I've not been seeing them. Many of you, it's fake people you are seeing in your dream. You need to change it and be seeing what you want to become in your dream. So I need to enter that realm of seeing stocks in my dream. I've not been seeing them. So we really to approach things with knowledge. Somebody that studied nurse. It is challenge to you. This is a challenge to me that nurse, people that do injection, that give people injection, people I used to run away from them. It's not an investor. It is not something. It's a personal development. It's a personal development. They give themselves to it, and you can hear from his testimony that his portfolio is better now. Lastly, before I give the mic to the open floor, it said something that I used to tell my generation. I used to make emphasis on that thing. It made mention of technology. You see, I thank God for technology. If not because of technology, I will not be here today. You will not hear me. I will not meet Tokpe Adu. I will not meet Not Investor. I will not meet majority of the people that is blessing me today. I thank God for technology. Technology is a blessing to our generation. It is a blessing to our generation. There is nothing. I say there is nothing you want to learn that you cannot find online. And you see, technology can make you and it can man you. It can destroy you beautifully. It will destroy your life without any traces again, and it can make you the better version of yourself. That is technology. It's left to you to maximize it. Technology. One of the places I'm even making money right now is from technology, because I make money from tech, from this digital world. Thank God for that. I publish on Amazon's. I sell books in US. I publish information. I do research a lot about informational material. I publish them on Amazon, on Kobo Writings in Canada. Though I'm in Nigeria, but I sell to America audience, and I'm making money in dollar from them. It's by the power of technology. I know very soon I'll go to America, but for now, I'm still collecting money from the Americans. So you must maximize technology. I have many people here that they have maximized technology to some extent that their life can never remain the same again. I tell you, Tope Adu say that there is a price to pay, and it is the price of time, attention, your energy, and your focus. And that is why you need to. I don't do gossip. I don't have time for gossip online. Why? It cannot help my life. It can't help my life. So I focus on what is very, very important. Thank you so much, Nurse Investor, again. So if you have any question for them before they go, this is to 10. You can just request for the mic, or we don't want you to go yet. If you want to go and you have maybe the final says, or you just want to advise us, you want to tell us something to focus on before you go, please just indicate, so that we can give you the mic to just speak to us. And then before we open the floor for the questions, you can remark if you have any contribution. This is a general space. If you have any contributions, please just request for the mic. If you have any question for them, because you may not have the chance to speak with them. I know they reply a lot of DMs, but you will have the advantage to hear their voice right now, because when people are speaking to you, it's even from when they are typing to you. So you can request for the mic right now, so that I'm going to be granting some people requests right now. I can see Michael Aji. So Michael Aji, I have given you the mic. You can, if you have anything to say, so you can go on right now. You can have the floor. Michael, okay.
Okay. Thanks for giving one the audience to be able to kind of speak. I just more of like appreciate the speakers. Basically, I joined when Mr. Tope was having a word. I think I missed the first person. I just wanted to add one or two things, because some of the things he said actually I resonated with it. And the reason why I said that was because in my own case, it's pretty much, I started kind of late. I knew quite well. I mentioned 1996, leaving school, then moving into uni, then into project management and the rest. So it's kind of something that is kind of around what I do too. So I'm more of like a BA. Live in the UK, born in the UK, grew up in Nigeria, and then eventually decided to come back. So currently in the UK, but that's just something by the side. One thing I noticed about him is his doggedness, and then he's hyper focused, like he's laser focused. And I think that's pretty much what many of us kind of miss, what we're not really more of like aligned with. In my own case, my growing up stage, pretty much, uni, then in Lorry, 1999 2004 was pretty much a very reckless one. I came from a home where I had pretty much what is needed. I never lacked, kind of lived a very funny life, wasted money. Even at uni then, some of my friends would probably like tell me, why don't you buy vehicles and use it for transportation? That was the amount of money that I had in my disposal as a student. Then coming more of like to understanding financial education, literacy and the rest. I never learned that. I think that dimension of me kind of changed when I got back to the UK. And I think that changed in 2018. The discussion didn't last more than 12 minutes, around 10-12 minutes, about credit cards, how to use credit cards, how to manage credit cards with a colleague. And that was what changed my own direction. And since 2018, it's been a different ballgame entirely. The old discussion lasted 10 to 12 minutes. I went into the bank, requested for a balance transfer card, which I didn't even care about. I was just using my credit card. I wasn't using it for something stupid, basically. I was using it for personal development, and that was the reason why I said I was able to resonate with what Mr. Tokwe was actually saying. So imagine 10 to 12 minute discussion change a lifetime, someone's life pretty much till age 37. So my growing up age till 37 was pretty much me spending. I knew quite well after that change, it took me pretty much about 2 hours, and the following day I cleared off the debts. I was using the money basically just to do personal development, to train myself. However, after that encounter that lasted 10 to 12 minutes, I knew quite well I had to take a different direction and a different path. And that was where my own journey started from as regards personal finance. 2018, debt was cleared off. 2019, I was on my path. 2020, I kind of started. But as of 2020, I decided to go full blast into financial education and literacy. So my learning started pretty much about 5 years down the line, and it's been back to back. What Mr. Nos, investor, was also saying is actually very key. It's been back to back. I don't really have any form of investment in Nigeria, but I started looking into it like last year. Kind of most of the things I do is pretty much US, UK, and the rest. So primary investment and all that is situated here. But coming to look at things from his lens, I started basically like late last year, having more of like starting up with Nigeria. But what I decided to look at is the system is basically not stable. There is so much uncertainties and loads of stuff flying here and there. Most of the businesses that is in place are not long-term oriented, but you pretty much see few that are still pretty much long-term oriented. However, one thing I figured out through learning is I started with 4 M's, which I learned from Phil Towns. There is a guy called Phil Towns, which I took as one of my mentors. And he talks about managing, talks about meaning, talks about moat, having a strong moat, businesses that is got meaning, that's meaning to you. Moat that's got a very strong moat that will be very difficult to displace in the market, that has very solid management structure in place, and then that has a good margin of safety. These are part of the things I use personally as a criteria, first phase of criteria to kind of address or to kind of how do I put it? To kind of sort out whatever business stocks that I want to. But I see my own stocks as businesses. I don't see it as stocks. I see it as a business. If it is not a business to me, I don't go into it. But one thing I just wanted to quickly point out is due to time. There are many ways like money affects our bank account. Our orientation back home is being pretty much like extremely abused. Let me use that word. Information is not really made available to people. 1, 2, the system is not set up to develop people, so you have to put extra work into developing yourself. There are many things that affect our bank account: emotions, sense of well-being, overall mood, and our health. So we need to put those things into cognizance for one to be able to actually like build a reasonable level of finance. That's one. Number 2 thing is we are more of like looking at learning from more knowledgeable others. I use that word, more knowledgeable others, and that happens to affect our psychology. Now, that psychology cuts across many areas, but when it comes to financial psychology, 1, we grew up looking at ways our parents, peers, close associates, even professionals around us, our colleagues and the rest, they know nothing about finance, about personal finance. Friends, nothing about personal. Like in my own case, I fell into that category. Teachers, they are zero because they are pretty much on the floor. They don't have any clue of what's basically going on within the system. And one is not actually finding oneself in the space where you kind of align with somebody who knows what is going on within the system. So those are part of the things that I believe we started with, which is about mindset. Mindset is key. If they said if the foundation is destroyed, what shall the righteous do? There is nothing one can build on anything when it comes to finance or anything around our lives if the psychology side is not readily addressed. If that part of our lives is addressed, the rest can basically be dealt with. It's just like saying the way we have different money scripts. There are times people avoid money and they will tell you money is bad. Some people will say, oh, money solves all problems. Just like what you mentioned, the profitable man, saying, oh, some people will have money and they'll think they've arrived. They think money solves all problems, or they look at things from money status point of view, where you own best possessions and that gives you more of like a status. That's part of the things that is affecting us as a nation. I'm looking at it from our context, Nigeria, not West, not West, but us as Nigeria. For those of us who are Nigerians and for those of us who are not, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at it from that part where we kind of give value to somebody who's driving a Rolls Royce and the person doesn't even have what it takes to sustain his or her life if something happens in 3 years. So we should start looking at things from a different point of view. You wouldn't know that Mr. Tokwe has built up a level of security. I call it security. I don't call it money as it is. He's been able to build security around himself, which is, I see that as a moat. It's going to be very difficult for something funny to kind of hit him so bad that he wouldn't have what it takes to be able to sustain himself for some time. And based on the kind of understanding he's got on skills and that he's built himself around personal development and the rest, it can function anywhere, and that is extremely key. So if one build solid personal development area, continue to develop, the other part is to be able to build a security, which is done. And I kind of saw that and I said, this is funny, I haven't come across many of that. I think I've seen about 3 or 4 people. One of them happens to be a mentor also. But seeing it in his own and the way how he started and how he's brought it this far is so I would say it's commendable. And as he was talking, I went straight to his X account. I was just looking through, and he made mention of something that had to do with somebody said, "Oh, how do you compare international stocks and then Nigerian stocks?" And it was like international stocks is like 50 years ahead of where we are. So that part is very key, and I kind of hold strong onto that part. I always say to people, I don't have stocks, Nigerian stocks, but seeing what he said and he's still holding on to the stocks, which kind of, in my own case, I started not quite long, is a good thing for one to buy into it. But however, the key part is what he started with, mentors. We as a nation, we are always failing to have a mentor because we think nobody can actually direct us. And that's the reason why we find ourselves where we are. In my own case, I used to be in that spot too. So I'm not saying it to someone else, I'm saying it to my former me. So easily I can relate with what he's saying, and I can see myself that I'm no more in that particular spot. When they talk about mentorship, when they talk about attending programs, paying for something, in my own case, I don't go for something that is free. I don't. That's my own policy, my own kind of policy. I don't go for anything that is free. If it is not going to cost me, it's either it costs me expensive time or it costs me money. If it doesn't cost me money, I won't be serious. So looking at it from a mentorship point of view, yes, some mentorship can be free, which is good. But if the mentorship does not cost you something, even if the person does not request for, we personally can as well extend our own fellowship of paying for it. That was what King David said. He said he wanted to drink the water from the Philistines' camp, and 3 of his servants went. They fought through, they got the water, they brought the water to him, and he said he wouldn't drink it because this water actually cost people their blood. So he was going to pour it as an oblation unto God. So that's what I just wanted to say. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Mr. Tokwe.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate Mr. Nos. Better to see you on Threads.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Profitable Man, and every other person that is connected.
Thank you.
I just want to
Thank
say
you so
this is a
much,
very
Mr.
good thing there to
Michael.
go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your time and your perspective. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from what you just said right now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you said. No, you made mention of a lot of things. We're out of time. You made mention of a lot of things which I've written down: the system, the mindset, the mindset. You made mention of it, and I tell you guys, if you are in his position maybe years back, I think you can see a clearly roadmap to come out of it right now. Because one thing, let me just say, the system is not coming. Nobody is coming to help you. Nobody. Believe that. This, you see, if you are waiting for this country government to come and help you, you will find yourself in heaven. You will close your eyes and open your eyes. You will just see that you are no more alive. Nobody is coming to help you. You got to help yourself. It made mention of, you see, Mr. Michael, you have to pay $50 million for coming to this place because he said something that you don't go for free meeting. You have to pay $50 million.
Yeah.
So you have to pay.
Yeah, I'm also on your WhatsApp platform.
Okay.
I was the one to send you a message on Coinbase yesterday.
Oh,
That's what's going on.
okay.
I sent you there.
Okay, you are the one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I'll get back. I will get back to you after this space. Okay, thank you so much for that. You know, we discussed about cryptocurrency yesterday, but that is not the topic for today. I have some question here because this is after 10, and some people need to go and meet their wife. So this is after 10. So let me just, there is a question here. If you have maybe 2 or 3 people that just want to ask a question, because I have a question here already, and this question is going to Mr. Tokpe. Somebody said that, how can we build abundance mindset? Like, how can we build abundance mindset? How can we build it?
Okay, thank you guys for having me once again. You want to build an abundance mindset? Let me tell you something here, and then this is the truth. And then, what I tweet about most times, 80 or 90% are my personal experience, you know, my journey, the things I've experienced, you know. In fact, while I'm on this space now, people have seen the good part of me, like a whole lot of wins, you know, you do this years ago, it comes to this, you put in this, you analyze this. You see, I'm going to put out a tweet possibly tomorrow and ask people that, should I write about the I probably ever had on the stock exchange, which is about Skybank. You know, I invested a lot in Skybank. It was one of the, you know, when I gained much insight, which is what I'm still going to talk about, like the abundance. You know, I have a director, Morgan Menebo. He's a River State guy. I mean, the first day I met him, you know, was with one of my in-laws in their office. The first day I met him especially, you know, we got talking, my in-law introduced me, we were just talking, and then he found interest in me. He kept asking me questions. I was responding. And the next thing this guy said to me is, I even wanted to stand up and leave the office. And then he said, he sent his secretary to, you know, to get my attention. I got back and he told the lady, I mean, years ago, get me a sheet of paper. This guy said something interesting to me. He wrote 24 books for me. I put a tweet out, maybe last month or thereabout. You know, I just wake up, I remember some of these things. When he listed it, in my mind, I was like, what kind of a thing is this now? But then, I remember that the way the guy was talking like God. I discovered that the knowledge this guy has is so deep that he was the first person that told me that if you're in front of him, if you're discussing business, he doesn't waste his time. He will just ask you, what does this amount to in Naira and Kobo? He told me, he said he never gets involved in his life in what will not create multi-million Naira for him. He said it's not in his work. He doesn't involve in any business that will not generate several millions. He was the first person I heard him speak that way. I thought that they probably was bragging. But when this guy wrote me 24 books and said I should go and read, you know, I didn't leave there empty-handed. I bought about 14 books. I was eager to meet him again. I saw him after 2 weeks. I showed him what I did, and But what point am I trying to bring out there? That guy had a mind of abundance from onset. At least the impression he gave me first day I met him. If you do not picture and visualize abundance in your mind, it will never happen physically. Trust me. If you do not see yourself scaling at an unprecedented stage as much as the likes of Dangote, I mean, you will never be there. For every brainchild or idea you conceive, it comes from your mind first. Let me tell you, I have imbibed and then I built my life around abundance way back, even when I had nothing. I knew what I was going to achieve in life. I mean, everything is crystallizing now, probably after 15 years, but I was so convinced about my path. I mean, if you do not have that personal conviction, like, okay, this is how you want to move, this is where you are going, you won't be able to get there. Small mind will produce small results. Big mind will produce big result, which boils down to the game of volume. Sometimes I tweet, my tweets sometimes are cryptic. People, you see, I teach indirectly, but people don't understand that every of my tweets is like I'm teaching. Because I don't have to spell everything out to you. When I'm talking about the company so consecutively, it means that there's something so special about the company. Let me tell you, anything I do now, I don't do small things in life. Let me tell you something. I still live in a rented apartment. I'm sure this will, bust a lot of people's head. The first time I'm going to build a house in my life, I never built one. I built 4 at the same time, under 10 months, between 2023 to 2024. I put out the story, of course, my journey and all that. It was there. You see, it was so crazy that even I'm not sure my wife believed in me at that point. And mind you, why?
Okay, you are back now. The network?
Oh, sorry, yeah. It was network. So sorry. I actually picked one of the buildings initially that I wanted to live in it. You saw the picture on Twitter. Amazing. Anything I do in life, I bring creativity, brilliance, mastery, quality. Go and ask about me, Cool FM, all these places, Lekki Gardens. There is no company that my hand has touched, and they did not know that I was here. I never belittle the next man. I won't belittle myself. I will show you my abundance mind and let you know that things are possible. If you do not believe in positivity and you do not believe that some of these things are actually possible, it will never happen to you. So when I was done, one day I was in front of my building. I was like, why will I be living? What have I achieved in life? This is a personal conversation within myself, not even with my wife or anybody. And then, not even with any of my friends. I said I was going to flip this building. I'm not ready to live in this kind of mansion yet. Let me delay this gratification. You see, when I sold, everybody thought I was crazy and all of that. I put half of the money back into it because, you see, for me, I'm so addicted to the stock market, irrespective of the other asset classes. Because you know why? I know and understand the Nigerian capital market like the back of my palm. You've not seen anything on Twitter. I'm telling you, to the listing rules, to technical suspension, to you see the way, I'm sure Profit Man noticed me early, and then I noticed that you were really following up, and which is why I like you, and then you're learning very, very fast. You see, I put out things that you would not imagine that somebody like me, I'm not a stockbroker. I got to a point I needed to be putting things out there that I'm not a stockbroker. You see, you need to have a mind of abundance to be able to receive abundance of knowledge into your head, your brain, your mind, and to have the prowess, ability, and capacity to be able to handle these things. If you do not build abundance of knowledge mindset, you would not be able to create physically. You see, what we're able to create, it is the resultant effect of our brain, our mind, the shape of our being, and then the result is what we're seeing outside. So if you do not conceive an abundance mind, you will not be able to give birth to it. I still mention it. That is the concept of volume for me. It is abundance. Anything I do, if I'm going into a company, those days it will take me 2 years to decide whether I want to buy a company or not. Why? Because one, I'm a value investor. Two, I'm a long-term investor. I don't trade equities. The few times I've traded equities, I've regretted it. I had First Bank at Bina. One day I will list all the companies I've had on the stock exchange that I never had again. There's no stock that I've not. Go and look at any blue chip stocks. I've had 90% of them before. But if you sell some of these things, like Flamil, I've had it, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, Unilever, just mentioning all those big companies, Guinness, Diageo. You see, when you sell, one, there's no how you're going to compound. There's no how you're going to have abundance physically on paper that you're looking at. Sometimes I put out a tweet. It is for you to conceive and look inward and then create a mental image first. Because if you do not create a mental image, how are you going to visualize? How are you going to see things? Understand the Bible and the way God created things. God created in abundance. So why do you want to be little? Why do you want to be small? The current project I'm building 5 units of houses, and to the glory of God, I'm going to be lifting all the buildings up at the same time. I mean, you see, you need to dare yourself, your capacity, your ability, what you have learned in school. There is nothing I've learned in school that I've not put into practice outside, and I put it into practice at a scale, at a level. There's work has taken me to US, just from this country, building knowledge, to South Africa, I've worked with different global organizations, doing crazy procurement deals. And you see, if you do not, and you know what, I grew up telling myself, when people say they want to leave the country, I'm like, Tokwe, I should be seen. I should have a global mind from where I am. I don't need to be living in the US or UK or whatever for me to achieve greatness. Let me achieve my greatness from Nigeria. Let the people from outside see. People can still do things with the way the country is. I had the opportunity to relocate to the US in 2014 under an investment scheme of $500 million. I rejected it. I have another mentor. The only Yoruba person I have as mentor. One of them. I met him. In fact, he taught me humility. My wife schooled in Greenwich in England, and I told my wife the condition I'll marry is you have to come back to Nigeria. Because I had a mentor that told me, said, Tope, I usually go to see my wife before we got married. Go take her in school, and she was doing her master's then, in her sister programs. And that man told me, said, Tope, people know you're already in Nigeria. They know your brand. Do you want to go and start all over again? One, the Nigerian economy was growing at 6%. Two, if you compound with the way the Nigerian economy is growing, you should be 3 times even bigger, because you're coming to the UK to start, to do this, to do that, to do. But you see, let me tell you today, I still do not even regret that I have moved, because work has not even taken me. Of course, I really don't even get involved in much IT work these days, but IT work has taken me around. But if I do not conceive that mindset that anything I do has to be big in life, I won't be able to get there. I won't be able to achieve it. And when you find yourself in a big stage suddenly, don't shake. Why? See yourself. You've not got it to where God is not done with you yet. Because if God is done with you, then you should be dead, or you should be flat, or you should not be impactful again. So, conceive big idea. Don't be scared. Show positive people. Understand risk. If it's a positive risk, of course. This Nepal thing led people to, have different mindset, orientation, and things, and people throwing risk away and believing that everything in life is automatic, you know, and then they don't respect the people of like Dangote and all that. But you see, how many people here, even me myself, give me 5 billion and ask me to multiply it in the next 3 to 4 years? It's not easy. So you give credit and respect to people that have actually achieved abundance to be able to scale at an unprecedented level. So please do not have a small mind. Think of abundance, visualize it, see it, conceive it, and then it's going to happen to you. Thank you, Prophet man. I mean, others can have the floor.
Hey, Oluwa, Chineke umi oborogene mokoro. I don't even know where to, like, I don't know. Like, I'm sitting on the hot seat. I don't know where to start. I have to go back and listen to this space again. Don't worry, I'll make this available on YouTube. After this space, I'll make it available on YouTube, maybe before next week runs out. I just don't know where to start. For the person that asked the question of how to build abundance mindset, I hope you have gotten your answer. If you have not gotten your answer, something is wrong with you. I'm very sure you have gotten your answer right now. Like, you say that, you see, small mind, if you think small, you see small results. Big mind is going to result you into the big results. He said we should conceive big ideas. Can you even think? I have a book, I think Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's not even Work and Grow Rich now. Think and Grow Rich. What can you think about? Do not let this Nigerian environment, affect your mind, affect your thinking. I'm even thinking big right now. And he said something about a book that somebody told him to buy 40 books. 40 books. How many books have you read in your life? But you have, if you say you should count how many, Korean movie. I don't have issue with Korean movie. I watch movies sometimes, but I've not gotten to that stage that I should be conveniently watching movie for hours. No. But how many books? You see, this generation we are lazy. We have to admit that we are lazy. 40 books. 40 books. You see, one of the assets you should be acquiring right now, they are books. Books. Because I study history. And I know that, you see, the knowledge of the future is in the past. If you want to go, I used to say that if you want to go ahead of your generation in the next 10 years, you have to go back 10 years. And all this knowledge, you will not get it anywhere random unless you read books. You see, there are some things Mr. Tokpe will say that I will just grab because I've read some books. I will just grab it. You see, me, I'm interpreting his post in a different way. They will tell you this is not financial advice. I don't care. That is my money. So I follow people because I don't have that time. I don't have the privilege to learn with my experience. I have to follow people that know where they are going. People that are already living my future, because there is a future you have for yourself. There are some people living there. They are even past your future. So if you are following those kind of people, your life can never remain the same. It's one of the greatest advantage. You will skip many pits. You will skip many pits. Many of us, we are buying some stocks because we know them. Is it because you have Wema Bank? Because you are using Wema Bank. If you are buying a stock because you are using Wema Bank, you see, when you are crying, I will not be there. So all these people, they have this accumulation of knowledge that can help you, and then I give you, follow them. There are some people that I put there. There is something called notification on TikTok. It's not on X. Once they posted something like this, they will notify me. And I read and I will interpret. And you cannot interpret beyond what you have consumed. I hope if you guys can see, I think very soon we will end up, but I'm still going to give our speakers, if they have something they want to tell us, maybe one advice to give to us so that we can be running with it, because this kind of space will not be happening every day. We have spent over 2 hours here. So, and before I give our speaker, I want to relieve them, please. I want to relieve our speakers so that they can go and rest. I see Mr. Ademuluyi Adegoke. See, Ademuluyi Adegboyega, please. Is somebody I love, I cherish so much. I've seen his work when I started my journey online, then through Amazon KDP, affiliate marketing, then when I was scavenging, I was just looking for what is working. Then I was just searching everywhere that I got to start something meaningful. So I don't know if you are available to speak. Please, if you are available to speak, I've sent you the invitation. Just 2 minutes. Just said something to us, to learn from the wealth of your knowledge. So before then, I will just give Nurse Investor to just say, what do you have for us before you go? Just tell us something. That thing that you are doing that change your perspective. That thing that you are doing that set you on this space race. That thing that you are doing that nobody tells you. One thing that nobody tells you when you are young. And if you can go back again, that particular things you will actually focus on. So let me start with Nurse Investor. I will go around, and then I don't think I have any question here, and we are going to call it a day. So Nurse Investor, are you with us?
That's actually a long thing, but thanks for having me again. So that thing that I'm doing that nobody told me and things like that. I think in order not to complicate things, because so many people tend to complicate things when it comes to issue of finance, but it is so easy that if you just understand the concept of the basic concept of spending less than you earn, every other thing comes from that. And you know that whatever is left after you have spent less than you earn need to be invested. That is the basic concept that I live my life with now. If you are somebody that is earning 100,000 naira and you spend 70,000 naira and you invest all 30,000 naira, and somebody is earning 1 million naira and that person spends over 1 million every single month, the person that is earning 100,000 naira is still going to build wealth more than the person that is earning 1 million. So that goes to tell you that in whatever you do, just live with this basic mindset. Don't say because you are earning so little now, you can't do this. You can. You just need to try as much as possible to make sure that the kind of lifestyle you are living is in line with this basic principle. And then find an investment vehicle that you are going to do. Obviously, if you are on a little budget, if you are working with small capital, there are some investment vehicles that you cannot do, like real estate. I'm not talking about real estate investment trust, but I'm talking about main real estate. So obviously, you can't do those kind of things with small capital. But that is when things like the stock market comes in. So when you have things like the stock market that requires low barrier of entry, then the first step you need to take is to now seek knowledge on how it works and deploy everything that is left after you have spent less than you earn. Because if your burn rate is more than what you are bringing in, trust me, you can't build anything. You must spend less than what you are bringing. Well, you must spend less than what you are bringing in. That's the only way you can build something. Another thing that has worked for me is delayed gratification. See, when you delay gratification, there are so many things that you will later achieve. I'll give you a little thing. When there was a time that I have the money to buy a certain car, but I didn't buy that car. I was like, I don't think I need this car now. And if I invest this money and I delay buying this car now, then I will be able to buy multiple of that in the future. And that same thing happened. So if you just suffer yourself a bit in the earlier stage, especially when you are trying to build a financial foundation, try to delay your gratification and you will enjoy it later. In fact, it may take you lesser than you think. If you delay gratification for like a year or two, you'll be surprised at how much you have amassed. And all those things that you want now to do 2 years back, those things will be easier for you to do now without affecting your financial situation in any way. So those things are what I live by, and they have really helped me in terms of my journey into financial freedom. And I believe if anyone can stick with those basic principles, they will be able to go far. Another thing I will also point out when it comes to issue of managing money and things like that will be investing on a consistent basis and investing with volume. So if you want to invest in something, I've seen so many people that are just starting their investment journey and they are going to invest in a lot of things. If somebody is working with ₦1 million and they are investing in 30 stocks, I don't know what you are doing with that. There's no way you can build anything with that. It's just far too much. So you need to concentrate what you are putting your money in. If it is just 5 stocks, make sure that you have enough of those stocks. Because let me give you an example. If you invest 10,000 naira in some stocks and you make 10% of 10,000, that should be 1,000, right? Is it up to 1,000 or on? What's 10% of 1,000 or of 10,000? That should be
1,000.
Yeah, so that's 1,000 naira. Imagine somebody has invest 100,000 naira in the same stock, and that person made 10% as you. That person is making your own primary capital. So volume goes a long way when it comes to this. I think I posted something one time ago that it is now my goal that all the stocks in my portfolio, I think I now have about 11 stocks in my portfolio that I want to get them to like 100,000 shares each. That's a goal I set for myself because I know if I get 100,000 each, if that tells you that if those stocks, if they go up by just 1 naira, you are making 100,000 naira. Think like that. If you have 1 million share, if it goes up with 1 naira, that's 1 million naira for you in a day. So people need to think about this and not overstretch their capital. So those are the little things I live by. I build on the little things. I build on certain stocks. The thing is, you can't chase all the winners in the market. If you keep chasing all the winners, you just accumulate too much and you overstretch your capital. Stick to those winners that you found and build them. If you build them to a certain stage, they are going to give you everything you need in this market. So that's all I'm going to say. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nurse Investor. You are just giving us injection of wisdoms. You are not giving us Kuraveni now. You are giving us injections of wisdom and understanding. And I hope that people that are on this space, they will actually take these drugs, these prescriptions that you have prescribed for us. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. Because of our time, we are not really we are going to end very soon. So Mr. Tokwe, you are the one that will speak last, but I'm just telling you are the one that will speak last. So let me go to Mr. David Thomas. So that one thing that you want to tell us, and I want you to say it maybe within just 3 minutes or 2 minutes so that we can actually end this space. Mr. David, are you with us?
Okay, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for having me here. So the last thing I'm going to say right here is that as Nurse Investors have said, keeping your expenses lower than your income is very key. Regardless of how much you earn, keeping your expenses lower than it will go far in helping you invest and have more money. Okay, so that is one. Then the second point that I want to give to us is that you can do many things, but be focused on one thing that will announce you and people will know you with. Okay, we live in a world of distractions, trying to do many things at a time, but many things can be done when you are already a master of a thing that has already announced you, that can now give you enough leverage to do other things that you may be interested in. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to be saying, because of our time, is that don't start what you will not be a master at. Mastery is very important, because this not starting what you will not be a master at will help you filter distraction and help you focus on your passion. So you will sit down, think about it, process it. Are you ready to put in all your efforts to this thing that you want to start? Then If yes, it will help you put in your full drive and you will be able to achieve your goal. Then the final thing that I'm going to be saying before I put down the mic is that avoid making decision and taking action under pressure. This has been one thing I've seen that predators prey upon, because many people just make decisions, even buying stocks. You are thinking that based on your analysis you quickly want to invest so that you will quickly catch all the profit and all these things, do this, do that. No. Investment, making money, getting returns, making tangible income does not come under pressure. It comes with peace of mind and with knowledge, understanding, and mastery. That is what gives the real value from whatever it is that we want to do. So put pressure on you can be a sign that what you are about to do may not work, even if they are right thing. There are people who have done even right things under pressure, and because of the pressure on them, it became the reason why they failed, because they couldn't focus, they couldn't pay attention, they couldn't do the right thing at the right time in order to get the right result. So these are the things that I have for us as a final point. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you so much, Mr. David. Please, everybody that is on this space, I really want you to appreciate all our speakers in the comment section. If you can pray for them, if you can, you cannot, they don't need your money. You can just pray for them, follow them. Just say something you have learned so that I can, because every comment section that is meaningful, I'm reposting them so that other people can be able to see this. I don't know, maybe Mr. Adegboyega, you have maybe 1 minute for us. I know you are not invited, but you just joined this place. But we don't want you to just go without telling us even one point like this. We are people that we are hungered for knowledge. We are young, we have this energy, and we don't want to make mistakes. We want to know the right things to start, the right principle to start with our life. So, Stock Bubbles, I can see you. Thank you for coming. I sent invitation to you too. So, I don't know if it is convenient to speak, but if it is not, it is fine. The only question I have here, which is just a simple request, is that Mr. Tope, okay, Mr. Adegboyega, you are welcome, sir. Please go on, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me here. This is an impromptu for me because he's my friend that actually sent this space for me to just join in and just listen to the conversation, because we've both been following Mr. Tokwe and also North Investor, most especially in the last 1 month, which is where most of our journey as far as stock trading is concerned. So when he saw the space, he just forwarded it to me to join, and I came on board. So that I'm going to be doing any talk this night. But that said, I would say currently right now I'm new to stock trading, and one of the reasons why I decided to go into it is simply more or less doing a long-term form of investment that I know that I can be able to profit from at least 10-15 years from now. That's the mindset that I'm simply using to come into the stock market. I've had prior experience with stock trading before from my dad, though it was profitable at some point, but later on everything all crashed down, and that was one of the things that made me not even bother to go in there again. So not until recently, when myself and my friends started talking about it, and we decided that okay, let's get more knowledge. We started buying books, programs, and just trying to understand what stock trading really is. We've also used that to also buy a couple of stocks that we are using, but we are only doing it with the mindset of long-term investment. So it's not like we are looking at buying now to sell in 3 months time, 6 months time. We are looking at buying now and knowing that these are stocks that we are living for the next 10, 15, 20 years without even touching. So we are spending time in researching the companies, understanding how everything plays, more especially in the Nigerian space, and just looking at investing at how to get it right. As far as advice is, the only advice I'm going to give right now is for those of you that are in your 20s right now, this is the best time for you to start investing. Most especially now that it's easy for almost everyone to use the internet and make an extra income for themselves. Don't spend all the money you make. Don't make the mistakes that many of us made during our time in our 20s, which is what we are trying to quickly get over right now. There are three phases. There is a phase of making money, there is a phase of saving, and there is a phase of investment. Majority of people don't do saving and investments. They just make money and spend it as it comes, thinking that there will always be money that will come in later on. And at the end of the day, they just realize that all the money I've made in these past years, what have I used it for? And you are not able to point a tangible thing on what you've been able to do with those money that you've made. So if you are listening right now and you know that you have a business that is making money for you, start thinking of where you can be investing your money, and also think long term. And I believe stock is one of the things that you can be doing right now, most especially if you are looking at long term investing, that you know that you can just buy down and live for the next 10, 15 years. For me, I'm looking at it more as a retirement income for me, that I know that in the next 15, 20 years, when I'm the things I'm doing right now, I might not be at that capacity of being able to do them, but at least I know that this is something that would be able to help me through during those periods. So those are the things that I've been doing right now, most especially myself and my friend, and I hope that that would also help lift up your own spirits too. Just like I said, I didn't start this meeting with you guys, so I've missed a whole lot. It's just this ending that I joined in. So I would still watch the recording and listen to what Mr. Tokwe has to say, because I follow him, most especially Mr. Tokwe and Nos Investor. I've been following your content. I've taken some notes from them, and also from Nos. It was even through your content that I was able to buy some stocks. When I think I saw your portfolio one time that you posted, and I was like, okay, let me look at this and just be researching on them using AI to understand these companies and know how to pick them. I think let me just stop here so that I don't just take too much of your time, since we are already far gone with time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you for that impromptu invitation. It's just like it's doing me as if I should not leave this space, but people have to go. Thank you so much. I think you have listened to that timeless wisdom. You see, I don't want to say too much because of the time, but I tell you, people ahead of you are telling you something, and then you should actually listen to them carefully. It's not okay. Some people are raising their hands. I think I'm talking too much. Okay. Before I open the mic for distinguished, please, Nos Investor, you want to say something? Please come on.
Yes, there is just one thing I want to say before the last thing. So I will just share a little strategy for so many people that are just starting their investment journey, and I hope that this will help them along the way. So if you've identified a quality company in your portfolio, and say the company has run up a little bit, and you are thinking maybe the stock price is too high, I want you to think again. Think as an investor, don't think as a trader. If you think as an investor, that means you are thinking long term. So here is one thing I would do if I find myself in that situation. I will start accumulating that quality stock that I've identified. But instead of putting $1 million, I'll put 100,000, and I'll keep putting that 100,000. And when the opportunity comes, and I'll tell you something, the opportunity will always come in the market. The market is something that right now it looks like everything is going up, right? And it's not going to come down. It's going to come down. When it's going to come down is when we don't know. It's what we don't know. So when it now does come down, that's when you now deploy your full bazooka and you take in more volume. So go with this strategy, and always think as if a baby is born today and that baby wants to start investing in the stock market, obviously that baby is going to start investing with the current price. The baby is not going to wait until the price comes back down to where it was before. So use this mindset, and I hope that this little nugget will help you along your investment journey. So that just came to my mind and I thought to share.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Nurse Investor. You see, Miss Tokpe Adu has been disturbing me in my DM to let her husband go. So let me just give mic to Mr. Tokpe to just give us the final advice before I open the mic for a distinguished employer. Please, Mr. Tokpe.
Are you serious about what you just said now?
Oh yeah, I don't really want to keep you for long because I know maybe you might have other things to do.
Quick one here. It's really amazing to be here. I don't know because different people that have actually invited me to different fora, but I will try as much as possible to come up on spaces as time permits me to, share knowledge. One thing I want everybody to realize is funny how I've been on Twitter since 2010, but I'm never active. Why? I just read passively and go. I just don't want to get mixed up and all that. It was even one of your tweets that I saw, and I felt like, let me explain a little more, and then I discovered that here I find myself. So I would advise that we should all build competence first and character. You see, even when you build competence, on your job or on your skill, on your endeavor, whatever you do, and you don't build the necessary character, it won't take you far. Your competence alone will not take you far. But when you build competence first, then you build the right character with it, then your journey is going to be smoother. That's number one. And then number two, I haven't been talking about this stock market tonight, but I will say this. I have long time in mind when investing. Let me tell you authoritatively, I can tell you that the long-term investors are the winners in the market, because one, Rome wasn't even built in a day. Two, the way the stock market is totally and completely different. You have to be patient. When the stock you invest in is not doing well, but the fundamentals of the company remain the same, then you don't have any cause to worry. Discerning investors will key into such opportunity below the intrinsic value of that particular equity. It will get to a point, the general investor, the general public will notice the stock and then will reprice it, and then it will start to move. So if you buy today and you see other stocks flying, it is not the time of that your particular stock. I need you to understand that. So each stock or equity on the exchange has its own time to shine. I will close with that.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Tokpe Adu. My book is full. And then people that are asking for books that has been read by Mr. Tokpe.
I've reposted the list.
Okay, yes.
I posted the list, so they can check that out.
Okay. Please, you can just check his timeline. If you are not following him, you are not doing yourself good. So please follow all the speakers so that you can learn, because many of the things they are saying here, they have been saying it on their Twitter, and then so just make sure you maximize, you dig their profile, their tweets, like you are looking for good. Dig it very well, and I tell you, there are a lot of precious things you will find here. So a distinguished, please unmute yourself. Let's hear from you. A distinguished.
Thank you very much, Prophet Bowman. Mine is a question, not really a comment. I don't know, should I go on?
Yeah. Go on. But don't be quick, please. Be quick.
Okay, so my first impression about Nigerian Stock Exchange was a very bad one because I heard is a manipulative space, where big whales like people like maybe Elumelu and them, just buy large chunks of stock and shares when they wish and dump them whenever they want. Until I started following you, Profitable Man, I learned about Presco, companies like Presco and Okumuwayo. And then I just bought their shares with a little money, and since then they've all just been going up. Then one of the tweets I saw you tweet about Computer Warehouse Group, I also bought their shares, and since then it's been going up. So, but I know that things don't just go up. But my question is, how do you actually identify companies that will do well in the long run? How do you research them? Where can you go to find out about all these companies so that you can buy them maybe when they're cheap and allow them to grow over time and be profitable? Thank you.
I think a simple question to this, because of our time, is the fundamentals. The fundamentals. Mr. Tope has said a lot of things about this, about the book, about the fundamental, the value of the company. The NGS is there, NGS is there. There are many platforms, Nairametrics, there are many platforms that shares information about the market. But I tell you, one of the best way, forget all about those metrics, one of the best way to know the best company is through their book. It's through their book. Get their book. Many companies just release their H1 and H1 reports yesterday. Just check the book, check the earning, check the cash the balance sheet. Mr. Topeadu posted a video on how to analyze a company. I don't know, you can beg him in the comment section that please help us to repost if you cannot, because there are many posts he has posted. He posted a short video, it's about 21 minutes. I spent my time, I watched it 3 times, on how to analyze a good company. You see, any video Mr. Tope posted, he posted a video recently about the companies he's holding. You can pick one of the companies to go and do your own research. To go and do your research, check their book. It is very easy to read financial reports. And if you are active, you are following people that are in the same line with you, more information will get to you before you even know, because they will talk about it. So you are doing fine, you are doing good, but just read books. It's very easy. I've posted a lot of thread on how to interpret financial reports. You can just try to learn from others. People, you can go to podcasts to learn how to read financial books. So I think that is one of the simple answer to that your question. Thank you, Mr. POA. Please go on quickly, because we have to end this meeting right now. Please just go on with I don't know what you want to say, please. You can speak now, Mr. Poa, if you can hear me. I don't think your network is good, and then the time is not on our side. Yeah, you can speak. Unmute yourself. We cannot hear you. Maybe you are using an earpiece or something. We cannot hear you at all. Poa, we cannot hear you. So we don't have that luxury of time, Mr. Poa. We cannot hear you at all. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, all our speakers. Thank you so much, all our everybody on this space. This is after 11, about more than 3 hours right now. Thank you so much for waiting. Now, I told you to follow all the speakers, to follow them right now. Everything you need is on their page. You can read, follow, sit down with their timeline and read very, 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 very well. So, and then do them a favor to follow them, repost, made mention of something, maybe anything you have learned from this space. You can write it so that other people can benefit from it. And then I really want to say a big thank you to Mr. Tope for giving me the privilege. It is a privilege. It is a privilege to have the art of men. It is a privilege. It is a gift of men, and it is an honor to me. I did not invite not investor and a majority of people that are here, but they came out to speak with us. Thank you so much. There is nothing we can give to you to pay the price of your time. Thank you so much, and I'm very, very sure that everybody on this space one day will remember that it was this particular person that said this, and I key into it, and my life has changed forever. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your family. Thank you so much. This is the end of the meeting. The recording will be available. This space is actually, we are recording it, and then I'll try to get it to YouTube. So the recording will be available. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. Thank you.